Hey everybody, welcome to That's Peculiar. I'm Nathan.
I'm Andra.
And we got another great show today. I have no fun facts.
I do, but is there anything going on in your life, like check-ins? What's been going on?
No, literally nothing.
Nothing.
No,
Cool.
it's
We decorated.
It's same old over here.
Good. We decorated finally. Our house looks great. Jack's going all out with the Christmas lights.
I was gonna say, did you guys hang lights outside?
He does it all.
Wonderful. That's
I
nice.
literally just stood there and was like, I think this would be a great idea. So the fun fact I'm sharing today, actually Jack told me.
Oh, okay, tell me.
Yeah, he told me just the other night. So Johnny Appleseed's fruit, you know, the apple guy,
Yeah.
weren't for eating. So there was a real John Chapman who planted thousands of apple trees on U.S. soil. You know this?
Yeah, I know he is a real dude.
Yeah. But the apples on those trees were much more bitter than you'd expect to find
Moonshine.
in the supermarket. Johnny Appleseed, quote unquote, expected his fruit to be made into hard cider.
Mm.
And then during the Prohibition era, they actually cut down a lot of those trees because they made just like the best cider ever.
That's very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought so too.
They're like, no apple trees. Sorry, no more.
I think there's a couple that didn't get cut down. I feel like Jack knew where it was. I just didn't remember that part.
Oh, I feel like they couldn't have cut down all of them. That'd be a lot of effort.
They could cut down a lot of them.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Well, there's my fun fact. Sorry for the delay.
That's a good one.
Today we have a super fun episode, I think. I actually had so much fun researching it.
You always say you have such a fun episode.
I know. One of these days I'm going to be like, this one was crap. But no, I just had a really good time. And I decided to do this topic kind of because people like the Stanley Hotel.
Okay.
So today we're talking about the Monte Cristo Homestead.
I have actually never heard of this.
Good.
Perfect.
Jack was thinking I was talking about the Count of Monte Cristo.
Well, when
That's not it.
You said Monte Cristo, I was like, this is either a sandwich or the Count of Monte Cristo is what I was thinking.
Nope. It's not. Not related. That's a book written by a French author. This is a real homestead.
But the Count of Monte Cristo is a very good movie. I haven't read the book, but the movie's very good.
Jack said the book was good. Oh, no. Never mind. Jack said the book was long and boring.
Yeah, I know the book is really long, and because it's such an old book, I was like, I don't know if I'd be able to handle it.
I guess in school they read like a shortened version of it.
Oh, that's cool.
Then we immediately talked about To Kill a Mockingbird, and that's the book that he said was really good. Not Count of Monte Cristo.
I actually never read To Kill a Mockingbird, so.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was in any of my classes. Yeah. Go off.
Okay, so we're ready. Let's get into this. First, we're going to talk about Christopher William Crawley. He was born in Sydney, 1841, to his parents, Jane and William Crawley. He grew up in a suburb and developed an interest in farming. There's nothing really to do with farming with this, just other than he was actually like a pretty handyman. He didn't mind getting his hands dirty.
Okay.
In 1860, he married Elizabeth and would soon start the Monte Cristo Homestead.
Where is this again? I'm sorry.
The Monte Cristo Homestead is a historic homestead located in the town of June in south of Wales, Australia.
Oh, okay. Good to know location.
New South Wales. Yeah, no worries. I said of. There's no of. I don't know of Wales. No.
New South of Wales.
That's not it.
I'm from New South of Wales. Mate.
No. Right. In 1884 to 1885, the Monte Cristo Homestead was built. It's a 2-story mansion overlooking the town of June The house was built in the late Victorian style and became an ultimate status symbol for the family.
Yeah, if it's a mansion.
Yeah, prior to the construction of the new homestead, the Crawley family lived in a small brick cottage that was actually turned into the servants' quarters later. So they were not rich people starting out. They lived in like a little shack.
Okay, that was I'm like, they lived in a shack and then they built this 2-story mansion?
Yeah, so what happened is Christopher Crawley hopped on, like, the railroad was being built through, and he just saw that as an opportunity, and he built a hotel right on the railroad.
Oh,
and
it's
he actually No, it's not. This is his house.
Oh, okay.
But separate. But he built a hotel right on the railroad, and the success of his hotel
gave him the money to...
a lot of money to build a homestead.
Okay, perfect.
I know, it's confusing. So no expense was spared in construction of the Monte Cristo, which was built of sandstock bricks, fire on site, and laid on a dry stone foundation. That's just pure gibberish to me, if you understand what that means.
It means it's very sturdy.
Yeah, that's what it says. And over a century, not a single crack has appeared in structure.
Exactly, that's what that means.
The downstairs walls are 18 inches thick.
Oh my God.
And the upper walls are 9 inches thick, made of solid brick.
Dang.
The ceilings are 12 feet high with cypress pine construction upstairs and plaster construction downstairs. This house was built during the Victorian era, has pleasing lines and proportions that retains symmetry of an earlier what?
It has pleasing lines.
That's how it's described. I just wanted to tell you guys what this looks like. And it has symmetry of an earlier period. Monte Cristo charm lies in a balance of its design and whatever. Demonstrate style of building. You get it. It's like
symmetrical?
My brain just shut down for a second. I was like...
It's symmetrical. And balanced.
It's beautiful and balanced, and it's
pretty lines
made of the toughest crap out there.
Bricks on a slab, strong trees. I know when you said pleasing lines, I was like, is this a woman or is it a house?
It's a woman house.
Oh, so it's a girl house.
It's a girl house. There's our uvula. Uvula. That's the third time we've quoted that line.
We really, yeah. Yeah. Can't get Monster House out of my mind.
Nope.
But the funny thing is it turned out being a girl house.
Yeah, well, I mean, it just so happened it was, but not the uvula. The girl just looks at him like...
Yeah, boys are stupid.
Much of June owes its start to Christopher Crawley. He owned a great deal of land in the area, delegating the first 840 acres to his estate.
Oh my God. Wait. If he didn't have money, how did he acquire all of this land to build?
He started with 2 parcels.
How big were these parcels? Because if he's got 800 some odd square,
that's later. Later he got those. That's after his riches.
Okay, so he was poor, had 2 parcels, built a hotel, got money, and then bought more acreage.
Correct.
Cool.
This actually kind of explains it a little bit better. In 1878, the Southern Railway of Albury and Melbourne passed through the area. The government resumed 80 acres of his land to establish the town of June, named after an early estate using wiragery? I don't know what that means. It just means speak to me. I don't know. I don't know what that part is.
Say it again.
Wiragery, it just means speak to me.
Speak to me.
Yeah, it's just that's what it was named after, that phrase.
Okay.
And sold some of his lands for a high price. This house was a place for social gatherings and entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
Between these social events, the Crawleys raised 7 children, all of whom went on to lead happy, productive lives. the girls, there's Helen, Lydia, Florence, and Angela. So there's 4 girls and 3 boys. They got sent to the best schools that their parents could afford, and they were taught music, painting, and beauty. Their daughter Lillian, actually, it's Helen, but she went by Lillian. Lillian actually composed I'm so sorry. I thought I was going to have time to look at the pronunciation, and I forgot. 1895 for a ball of Government House.
So she composed a piece.
Composed it.
Okay,
yeah.
She composed a piece for an event.
Yes, and it's dedicated to Lady Dunbar.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. Other girls were talented, but mainly in like pen and paper rather than composing music. The boys are Marvin, Aubrey, and Alphonse. They were educated as well. You know, they played music.
They were
smart people.
Rich, well-to-do.
Right.
Spared no expense.
They're good. Yeah, I
Rich
just wanted
stuff.
a little background. Yep. Crawley was remembered as very...
Are you having a stroke?
Yes. This is weird. I think my keyboard got messed up. William was playing with it for a little bit. Either way, Crawley was remembered like super nice and friendly. Elizabeth was not. She was kind of ruled the house, they say, with rod of iron, but she was like, you know, uptight.
Yeah.
And to the outside, they were like the quintessential Victorian couple.
Mm-hmm.
But perceptions, kind of misleading. To the townsfolk, the Crawleys were good people. However, as the story unfolded, it actually seems that they're not great. Staff would later count stories of like harsh mistreatment by their employers, and like many like legends sprawled from that today.
But mostly from Elizabeth, though, or was he part of the problem?
He is also part of the problem.
Oh, but everybody thought he was so awesome.
Well, yeah. I mean,
okay.
I don't think he's a terrible guy, other than like he's a lover. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. On December 14th, 1910, age 69, Christopher Crawley died from heart failure and blood poisoning caused by a boil on his neck. Yeah. After this, Elizabeth became a recluse. It's said that she only left her house twice before her own passing, and she dedicated herself to her Bible.
Gross.
Elizabeth Crawley died August 1933 at the age of 92. So she lived a lot longer than him, and only left twice, apparently.
Well, I
so
mean,
like in 30 years.
She had a big house and staff, I'm assuming.
Right.
Taking care of everything.
She died of, heart failure and a ruptured appendix.
Oh, that's painful.
Yeah.
From what I know.
Yeah. The homestead's glory days were over after she died, but Monte Cristo remained a Crawley family home until 1948, when the last members of the family vacated it. After their departure, no one lived in the house until it was acquired by the Ryan family more than a decade later. By this time, like, things have been auctioned off, and like there's vandalism. It was in very poor condition when the Ryans got it. But in 1963, Reginald and Olive Ryan bought the Monte Cristo homestead and began the process of restoring it to its former glory. So they had always loved the house and they wanted to do that for it.
Oh, nice.
The house had been, you can actually, there's a link that I had. You can actually look at photos of what it looked like when they bought it. The house had been abandoned over a decade, and it was in a state of despair. The Ryans worked tirelessly to restore the house, including sourcing original furnishings and fixtures to recreate the house's original ambiance. Reginald Ryan was a tailor by trade, but he worked and work to pay off the bank loans to restore the property. He worked a variety of jobs, including a drinks waiter, laborer, door-to-door salesman, before he eventually came into an antique dealer, which helped actually furnish with furnishings. The Monte Cristo antiques quickly gained international recognition, and the homestead served as a showroom for many years, allowing the Ryan family to get arts and everything. In 1986, the Ryan family stopped dealing in antiques and opened up the Monte Cristo as a local museum with family members serving as tour guides. They wanted to share the history and the beauty of the house with others, and they succeeded. The Monte Cristo Homestead is now the most popular tourist attraction in the area.
But why is
it draws people forever.
But how is it a homestead? What do they got going on?
There's farmland with it too.
Okay.
And I think they're calling it the homestead also to separate it from the sandwich. Like you said, you have to type in Monte Cristo Homestead
to find any information.
Otherwise, you'll get a sandwich.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
So without the Ryan family, this home wouldn't be standing today. This all seems very lovely, doesn't it? Are you like, where's the mystery in this?
Yeah, I'm like, what is going on? I need you to tell me what is happening.
Yeah. So poor family gains riches due to railroad. The family restores it. The Ryans turn it into a museum. However, it is said that more people have died in this home other than Christopher and Elizabeth Crawley.
What does that mean?
Ethel Crawley, which would have been the Crawley's granddaughter, just a baby, died after being dropped or pushed down the stairs by a nanny. Ooh. The nanny claimed at the time that she herself was shoved when the baby was dropped. Okay.
She was shoved, but they don't know by who.
Correct.
Okay.
It was said that Christopher Crawley was a little too lovey, intended to get his maids pregnant.
Ew.
And staff pregnant. One of the maids died from jumping or falling from a balcony. It is said she was pregnant, possibly by Christopher William Crawley.
Oh, Lord.
And there are speculations as to this being an accident, suicide, or murder. Yeah. And that's not necessarily meaning William did it.
It's all alleged. We don't have proof, apparently.
Right. But my money would be if it was a murder, it was Elizabeth. Not laughing. But there is a step that is bleached where the maid's blood was said to be cleaned up. In one of the photos I saw, there's actually like a deep white stain and they like lean into it. They put a sign up of like, this is where she died. This is the step.
They scrubbed the crap out of this step with bleach.
Yeah, or they just painted a white mark to do this. I don't know.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. One of the maids birthed a boy named Harold, also said to be Mr. Crawley's son, who was said to have suffered a head injury from a coach when he was super young. It was so severe he was left with permanent damage.
Yeesh.
Harold's mother was actually the person left in charge of the house after Elizabeth's death. It remained her and Harold in the house alone for years. Apparently, they used to chain Harold to the wall because they didn't know what to do with him, and he would just scream. When Harold's mother died, Harold had been chained to the wall without food, or he was found by the authorities in time, but it said that his mother had been dead for quite a while.
How long?
They just say quite a while, but he was chained there. I mean, he was starving and had no water.
But they had staff, did they not?
No, it was just the two of them alone at that time.
How?
After Elizabeth Crawley died.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so he spent the rest of his, he did live through it, but he spent the rest of his life in a mental hospital.
Yeah. I mean, he was chained to a wall for however long.
I mean, yeah, it is said the brain injury was pretty severe, so I think he just needed a little bit more help. And then on top of that, he sat next to his mom.
Wow.
Poor guy. Yeah. A stable boy is said to have burnt to death on a mattress. He called in sick one day, and the guy in charge of the stables thought he was joking and lit the mattress on fire, but the kid didn't get up because he was actually sick.
So he was trying to play a practical joke and be like, haha, you're joking. Oh no, you're
dead.
Fire.
Yeah.
Dude, they're messed up. Where do they find these people?
I don't know. Just absolutely
my gosh.
Bonkers,
That's
right?
insane. I would never think to light someone's mattress on fire.
I would never be like, oh my gosh, you called out sick.
You're faking.
You know what? I'm gonna
burn your house down.
I would probably poke you or some bug. I don't know what I would do.
I would just annoy you.
Yeah, I wouldn't be like, I'm gonna set your mattress on fire.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So it said another boy said, these are all legends and everything, but this story is told over and over and over. All of these are told over and over. It is said that another boy fell down their stairs and passed away. Another story is that a pregnant woman gave birth and passed away in the house. Something to be noted is earlier, when Ethel passed away, the baby that was dropped down the stairs, and then the other boy fell down the stairs. Today, children who visit the home become visibly upset or irritable when they're near the staircase. Others claim to feel hands pushing them or even restraining them.
What?
Yet others have claimed to have felt the small, cold hands of a child slip down them while they walked down the stairs.
Ugh.
I know. It's crazy. Yeah, this home had sorry to anybody that doesn't want to hear this stuff, because this home has a lot.
There's a lot of okay.
The house was built too solidly. It's falling on a brick concrete floor.
Well, I mean, it's a stone floor, unless they put something on top of it. But I couldn't imagine so many people. Why are people falling down the stairs?
I was like, okay, at some point, when do you put in a new staircase?
Yeah, something's wrong with your staircase if people are falling down your stairs.
I don't know. This continued even after the Ryans purchased the home. So the Ryans noted when they bought the house, strange things started happening. But the first sign was they brought their cat and dog up to the home, and both refused to enter the property and would flee when the Ryans tried to force them in.
The dog's like, no.
The dog and cat were like, you moved us here.
We don't accept. Can we go back where we came from? Thank you.
Yeah. Can we just move away now? I know.
If your dog and your cat do not want to live in the house that you bring them to, you should probably listen.
That's a solid sign, right? If Denali didn't want to come inside this house, I'd be like,
we got to move.
Yeah, I don't want to go in that house either.
Something's wrong with the house.
Matter of fact, if I ever get a new house, I'm just going to bring Denali.
The dog?
Yeah, and see what he feels about it first.
Is the dog cool with the house? Because if he's cool, I'm cool.
Yeah. There's no sell unless Denali likes it.
Wow. Okay? That's crazy.
Yeah. So the Ryans also said they would leave the house in return, and from the outside, it looked like all of the lights were on. But when they would walk through the door...
look like.
Yeah, but then they would walk through the door and it would be pitch dark inside.
And this is with the Ryans owning it.
Yeah.
I'd be creeped. Why? No.
They assumed about 10 ghosts lived in the house, and apparently the ghosts did not like animals.
And the animals did not like the ghosts either. So.
Well, this is my trigger warning for anybody who does not like animal death.
No.
If you're sensitive to animals dying, just,
no.
I don't know, fast forward a little. It's quick. So just fast forward 30 seconds or so.
Unless they get hung up on it.
Yeah. One day the Ryans came home and all of their chickens had been strangled, as well as a pet parrot.
Now they have parrots too?
Just one, I think. They also said some of their other animals died in suspicious ways, but I couldn't find examples. They just said they had animals pass away. but like the chickens were noted.
Weird.
It looked like they had all been strangled.
And there was nobody there.
Right. But just to like, I mean, kind of unlikely, but like a pack of raccoons could do that maybe.
A pack of raccoons?
Is that what's a bunch of raccoons
I don't know
called?
what a group of raccoons is called. But...
A bushel. Just kidding.
But why would they go but they wouldn't just strangle them, they would eat them.
I don't know.
They'd be chewed
raccoons
on.
Eat chickens?
Raccoons eat whatever they can get their cute little hands on. I want a raccoon.
For some reason, they were all strangled.
Okay. That's weird.
Mm-hmm. The Ryans believe that Christopher and Elizabeth's ghost haunt the home. Christopher is said to be loving in death still. But Elizabeth is judgmental, and if she doesn't like you, she will target you.
So Elizabeth is pushing people off of balconies and down the stairs, and Christopher is just rubbing up on the ladies.
Well, they just say he's nicer, but yeah. Maybe he's that cold hand that touches you down the stairs.
Yeah, that wasn't a kid, that was Chris, y'all.
Child? I don't know. He's just aiming low, I guess.
I mean, if you're a dude and you're trying to grab a lady, don't you go for like the lower bit? Like the booty?
I'm not a dude that goes for the ladies, and neither are you.
Very much not.
I don't know. But I think second base comes before butt.
I mean, maybe someone has felt their boobies being squeezed by a cold hand. I don't know. This is your story.
Nobody has specified.
Nobody said anything about it.
They don't mind. So Elizabeth is super judgy and she'll target you. Mm-mm. It is said that the maid that jumped, allegedly, from the balcony
maid. We can't say if she was suicide, jumped, pushed. We don't know.
Murder. She is said to haunt the veranda
that she fell on, or from.
Correct.
Okay.
On.
Off.
Ugh. One of the most recent ghosts is a caretaker. And this story is pretty brutal.
Recent? What does recent mean?
It's 1960s. This happened.
Okay, and it's a caretaker of the grounds that when the Ryans owned it, and it's been a touristy. Okay.
It's a man named Jack Simpson, and apparently a boy in town who went to the Monte Cristo Homestead just knocked on the door, and when Jack answered, he was shot point blank range and died instantly. They say that the boy was inspired by the Alfred Hitchcock movie Psycho.
And so he decided to go to the Monte Cristo Homestead.
Mm-hmm.
And blam. What is with kids in this house?
I don't know. But when they say kid, it's like a local kid. I imagine he's a little older if he's watching.
Still, like, if you're under the age of 18 and you got the babies falling down the stairs, you got a kid walking up with a gun and kablowing the caretaker. What is with this house and children?
I don't know. But today you can see the words, "Die Jack. Ha ha." Carved by the killer into the door of the shed. And like I said, that happened in the 1960s.
Been in the 60s, and it's there.
Mm-hmm. That's what they say.
Wow. That's what they say. Well, if it's there, it's like written.
It's there. But I just mean like they say it was carved by the killer.
It could have been.
Yeah. Oh. There are many ghost stories told of creepy things happening. One of the links that I used, it's called Believing the Bizarre. The author of it actually goes to the Monte Cristo, and he talks about how he didn't believe in any of it, but then he like started seeing ghosts. He think it was him and his dad that went. Mm-hmm. He started seeing ghosts, and then he just felt weird. And like the more they continued on the tour, like things were happening, and he was just like, "This is a weird place." So you can actually go to that, Believing the Bizarre, Monte Cristo. And we could link it too.
Are they still in operation now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, that's actually one of my closing remarks, which we're surprisingly coming up to pretty soon. feel like this hasn't been super long. But yeah, so there's like a whole bunch of ghost stories that are told. The Monte Cristo has been featured in television shows such as A Big Country in 1977, the travel show Getaway in 1992. Then it's also in Scream Test in 2000.
What's Scream Test?
It's like a paranormal-based reality show. Ghost Hunters
like
International.
Oh, okay, cool.
Right.
One of my questions was going to be, have they done paranormal investigations in this place?
They did Ghost Hunter International in January 2010.
Oh, wow.
And then My Ghost Story in 2013.
Okay.
So you can watch many videos. There's also so many YouTube videos on this. You know, a lot of people that I found felt presence in this home or had weird things happen. I didn't find too much saying the opposite, to be honest. But the research on this, I want to mention this because it's a lot more limited than what you would think.
Yeah.
I actually went to like an Australian website, and it was going to like, it had like everything I needed. It was like the Australian government website. I linked it right here. And yeah, but it actually denied me and said I don't have access. It's www.nsw.gov.au. And it said I didn't.
Sorry.
I got denied access.
You can't see this.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's because we're in America or like whether it's blocked on our side, American side, or whether it's blocked on their side. But yeah, I was blocked from it. And then a lot of the other links and everything, you have to really like sift through some of the stuff. But it's such a fun little story.
That's so crazy to me.
Right. So as we already discussed, there is also a Monte Cristo sandwich, but it does not pertain to this story.
Clearly, it's a house that kills people.
Right. That was originated in France, and I found 0 links to the homestead, not related. So Lawrence Ryan, one of the family members, still runs the tours, and many of the tourists state that they see ghosts. So you can too.
Wow. The Ryans are still running the place.
Yeah, they still own it, and they still do the tours.
That's crazy. I want to go, but I don't know if I'm ready for that long of a flight.
Yeah. If you do visit and want to tell us your stories, please send them to our email and we will share them.
Please. If I don't have to go.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
I'm scared.
I'm not scared. I have a sense of a healthy skepticism about this stuff. Like, I won't believe it until I feel it.
Well, Jack heard the Stanley Hotel episode, and he was like, you wouldn't last 2 minutes in there. He'd be like, I have to get out of here. And I was like, dang it, you're probably right. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm really a big fan of paranormal activity and all that stuff. So any chance for me to go to a quote unquote haunted location, sign me up. I have to try it. And is it not? Because you walk into somewhere and you go, this is not comfy. Like, I hate Tuolumne General Hospital.
I haven't been in there for a long time.
Just driving by it makes me uncomfortable. So I know that if I was to go in, I'd be like, no.
Didn't they do like a Ghost Hunters in there?
Yes, the Ghost Adventure guys came in and they did a thing, and it was actually pretty intense. I watched the episode. Also, side note, they came back again, I think a couple years ago, to do a different hotel. I don't remember.
Jamestown or the Columbia one?
I think it was in Jamestown. One of my friends posted a picture of them like doing something. Anyway.
Yeah.
So maybe I should create a list of haunted places that I want to go stay and then do it.
Yeah. Apparently, I'm not tough enough.
Well, I mean, Jack, get it together.
Yeah. Jack can do it. So what are your takeaways or beliefs on this?
Okay. So for this one,
do you believe the Monte Cristo?
Only because people keep falling down the stairs, and the stairs seem to be a huge thing. I feel like something's going on, but I also think that's Elizabeth.
She's just terrible.
She's just the worst. Well, you said she like she ruled it with an iron rod, and to me that makes me think of an angry, vengeful woman who
Yeah.
I feel like the people who probably say they feel someone pushing them or pulling them are women who are probably women that Chris might have fancied. And so she's like, GTFO.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And maybe she didn't know that nanny was holding Ethel when she pushed her down the stairs.
Exactly. It could be that she was like, I don't like this lady because my husband fancies her, so I'm going to take care of the problem. And then her kid was involved, and she was like,
her grandkid, I think. Yeah.
Grandkid, oops. And then, I mean, you know, if there was a pregnant woman who was carrying... If there was a pregnant... if there was a woman who was potentially carrying a bastard son of my husband, I would probably want to throw her from the balcony too. So I think, I think it could be Elizabeth. I don't think Chris would have, because I think he liked the attention.
If your husband had a bastard child, I think that's the least of you.
If I was a woman, if my husband had a bastard child, I would be like, I thought you liked dudes only. You didn't tell me you were bi.
What happened?
You were drunk.
Did we get our signals crossed?
What happened?
Who is she?
You thought she was a man?
Yeah. Be ugly. This episode was super fun to do. Like I said, you have to really sift through to find information, but I have a bunch of really solid links that I'll just send you the episode.
Yeah,
so
please
you can
do.
Link them.
You know, I think something that I would like to do I think I want to do this, and I wonder if Ross would be down for this, would actually be to create a list of like haunted hotels to go stay in. Yeah. And like just stay there. I mean, we have flight benefits, so we can just go.
Yeah, you guys would have more access to it than me, and also like I think it's probably frowned upon to bring a baby into a haunted hotel.
Allegedly haunted.
I mean, yeah, but what if it actually is?
Well, I mean, if they are hurting babies, that's not okay. That's like against ghost code, I think.
You know, I just might be more of a Hallmark girly. I've been digging Hallmark.
God, but I think that'd be fun, is to go stay at haunted hotels and like come back and chat if anything happened for me.
So I believe in these ghost stories.
No, these sound legit to me.
Like, it's not like the Stanley Hotel. Like, there's people. I didn't find anybody saying that they didn't think it was real. There was a link that said hoax or real or something like that. But it was a very weird and spammy site. So if you come across it, I don't recommend clicking on it unless you have spamware.
Well, also think about it too, though, as a family that does own a tourist attraction, one of the best ways to draw in tourism for an old building is to say that it's haunted.
I literally said, even if the Ryans leaned into this, I'm here for it. That's my next line.
But that's also true, is if you're going to have a tourist attraction, you want to have something that people will remember and make it worth their while. Even if it's faked or whatever, and it's just stories, you want to create, it's a source of entertainment.
In the memory.
Yeah, and it's an entertainment thing for us.
The thing that makes me, and I mean, I could be wrong, but the thing that makes me think that's not the case is he was like into antiques and restoring the home. I don't know, like think about the Winchester house.
Yeah, but it's also it's restored, it's antique, but it's also a lot of tourism is relied heavily on the fact that people think that it's haunted.
Right, but they haven't restored it that much.
They do keep restoral work, but they're not going to keep working on things that, like, for example, the room that she got trapped in that they were working on, they stopped doing repairs and building that room. Then the people who came in, are taking care of it, they haven't touched it. They just make sure that it doesn't deteriorate.
That's what I mean. And I feel like if the Ryans wanted to do a ghost house, like I don't know that they would have had to like fully restore it, turn it into a museum. I mean, I don't know. But the other side of it is there was already a bunch of speculation
That's
in the
true.
town
That is true.
about, so they could have easily leaned into it, but I really hope they didn't make up a story about like Harold.
Yeah.
And all, like, Harold's death is just, or Harold's life and his mother's death.
Yeah.
Just like, I was like, oh my God, you poor freaking soul. Like, you had to sit there.
I'm sure there's a lot of truth to a lot of the stories that you are hearing, and like the, you know, the mattress set on fire, stuff like that. But as a restore, so okay, the Ryans probably came in and they did restore it because they do, you know, there are people that care about historical and they want to make sure it's preserved and it lasts and it looks good, and you know, it's a just architectural interest. Yes, but there's not a lot of people in the world, in my opinion, that go out seeking just architectural interests and restorations. It's the fact that it's old and it's haunted.
Right.
So
I see both.
Yes. So like for me,
because I think some people go to like old cathedrals.
They do, but that's also like, that's a cathedral, not a random house in the middle of Australia.
The south of the whales.
The south of the whales. The new south of the whales.
New South Wales.
But I mean, so for example, like you also have like Hearst Castle in California. People go because but also it's massive and it's still gorgeous. But they do go because it's historical and it's very well restored and maintained.
I went to absolute ruins castles in Ireland, and I walked like 2 miles to get to some of those.
That's cool too.
Look at,
it's a castle.
To look at stones.
Who doesn't want to go look at a castle?
Who wouldn't want to look at this?
But if it's a if they told me that there was this old building that has, it's restored, but there's no historical significance to me, why would I go? Tell me it's haunted. Now you've got my interest.
Yeah, I was playing devil's advocate. I see both sides.
I mean, so do I. But you know, as my own personal opinion, like if you didn't tell me that it was haunted and you just told me about like even at the beginning when you're telling me the backstory, I'm like,
I know you were totally like, can you get to the point?
Can we get there? Like something's going on. Something is going on with this Monte Cristo, but it sounds like it's just a mansion at this point.
So when I actually made the episode, I knew you were going to be impatient, which is why I made it the way I did. I did the full background and the history.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. But I was also like,
come on.
What's peculiar? What's going on? Tell me something.
Yeah. Originally, I had the stories of when the Crawleys had it.
Yeah.
Of like the people dying. Originally, that was my layout. And then I was doing like the Ryans had it, and then I was going to talk about their ghost stories and the animals dying. But yeah, that's good. It
was good.
For anyone listening, just like a PSA, public announcement, please don't chain your children to walls or force animals in places they're refusing to go into other than the vet. I mean, I get that, but everywhere else, just like don't do it.
Yeah, that was great. I enjoyed it. Now I want to go there, but I don't want to suffer the flight.
To Australia?
Yeah.
That would be that's the longest flight, right?
It's so long. It's so long. My longest flight is 15 hours, almost 16.
And then on top of that, it's in June.
And it's in New South of Wales.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry to the Australians, New South Wales. I'm sorry.
Well, that was fun. Thank you for that. I'm going to have to go do some looking into it now. Now I want to see it too. I want to look at it and see what it looks like.
I told you I had a fun episode.
It's good. I like it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for listening to That's Peculiar. Tune in again next week for another episode. And we'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to That's Peculiar. Please make sure to leave a comment and follow the show for weekly updates. If you have any stories you would like to hear on the show, send us an email to perpetuallypeculiarpod@gmail.com. See you next week on That's Peculiar.